1947 was not a peaceful time in Russia. There were many casualties, but one that stood out was the brutal murder and dismemberment of a young girl. Not long after that, many children went missing without a trace. A curse was born, a ritual that forces people to search for body parts of that girl. Those chosen are trapped in a time loop, forced to repeat the same day over and over again until the body is complete. Those who fail are devoured, their existence completely erased. And with every failed attempt, the curse continues. I present to you the Japanese horror movie, Remember. I love this movie, and I have been writing the script for 6 days. Ask me if I remember most of the script. Crickets! I tried my best to remember the script. I was in the moment. Every time I think about this horror movie, I'm always in the moment. Anyways, hi. Welcome to my channel. Hit the subscribe button. I talk about Asian horror movies that I've watched, and sometimes when I feel pretentious, I talk about Western horror movies that I've also watched. And if you want me to talk about the recent Western horror movies, I will be happy to do that. The first one being, I think there are 3. Yes, we have Pretty Lethal, we have Ready or Not Part 2, and the last one we have Reminders of Him. As I said, this is my channel. I decide what or what is not a horror movie, and to me everything that is an adaptation a book adaptation is a horror movie, especially if it's from Frida McFadden and also Colleen Hoover. I would take the opportunity to clown them. If you want to see the video of me clowning Frida McFadden, you can go to my account, go to the videos. You're going to see The Housemaid, and I was doing nothing but clowning the whole show because of how ridiculous it was and how it was a rage bait. So if you like to see someone make fun of maybe your favorite books, I mean no harm to the authors. I just love making fun of garbage movies. So if you want to see that, let me know. But I have Asian horror movies that are lined up here, so I will be posting the videos. I mean, it's going to take time to record, but I already prepared the scripts for them. Okay, let me not waste your time. Let's get into the video. Before we can get into it, I have to introduce you to the most stereotypical horror movie characters. Our first main character, I mean someone who's supposed to be our main protagonist. I think we're seeing this whole show through her lens. We have Asuka, who's the school pariah. She's socially isolated. She has no friends, and everyone is avoiding her because apparently her loneliness is contagious. And I'm not even exaggerating it, because one of the boys said that when they saw her, and they were like, you know, loneliness is something that rubs off. At that time, I asked myself if loneliness is an STI, a virus. How the fuck does it rub off? Logic. Not everyone has it. No. Breathing exercises. Not everyone has it. She's the Scott McCall of this movie. She's useless. If you haven't watched Teen Wolf, you are going to be confused and like, who's Scott McCall and why am I comparing this character to Scott McCall? Asuka is a forgettable character in her own show / movie. Excuse me. How is she overshadowed by other characters? We are going to get into that. Let me continue introducing you to the other characters. Next we have We have Takahiro. In my mind, I said Chad, and I started to short circuit. But I was going to compare him to a Chad, but Chads are assholes, and Takahiro is not a Chad. He's not an asshole, but he's the pretty boy, right? The basketball player who's very good at playing it, and we have schools trying to scout him. He's wanted by everyone. I mentioned that he's hot, okay, a mouth dropper, but he has some good qualities to him. He's part of the student committee. He's part of the school committee. Is very much involved with his school. Another thing you should know about Takahiro is that he's a fighter. He fights to protect everyone, and even if it means he's going to die on their behalf, he won't stop. He's going to keep fighting, and that's the type of character I love in horror movies. He's giving final girl, except he's a boy, so it's final boy. The next character that we have is Shota, the nerd. He's bullied for being the nerd, for being smart. I can never understand this logic. How are you bullying someone for being a bookworm, for being smart, for getting good grades, for focusing on nothing but school? Y'all are motherfucking morons. I think we need to be creative on how we bully people, because you can't say, oh, we are bullying him because he's always reading books. We should bully you for being stupid all the time. How about that? We should bully you for lacking logic, lacking brain cells, lacking common sense. How about that? That is a good reason to be bullying someone like you. Next, we have Ria. She's part of the school committee alongside uh, Takahiro. I know at the beginning I said that the game says that they have to be strangers. They only talk about matters of the school committee, so they're basically strangers. She has a crush on Takahiro. Takahiro seems to be interested in Asuka, but I can't really tell because it's a hard character to read. So I'm going to go on a assumption that Ria is also the hot girl that everyone wants in school. As I said, stereotypical horror movie characters. Next, we have Rumi. Oh, I love Rumi. I wanted her to be the main character, like the main protagonist. She's still the main character. I wanted to see this movie from her point of view because she has that final girl characteristics. She also fights. She doesn't shy away from danger, even if she's scared. I mean, who wouldn't be scared in situations like this? The ones that I'll be talking about. So Rumi is dating an older guy, and her peers think that is cool. It's pretty cool, yeah?
Absolutely disgusting, by the way. I almost puked, but let me stay focused.
A guy who's finished college dating a 15/16-year-old. He's not a boyfriend, he's a pedophile. He lock him up, put him on neighborhood watch, put him on the FBI most wanted. He is not a boyfriend, he's a predator. Keep him away from schools. He should be far away from schools, in my opinion, because he can't be dropping Rumi in his cool motorcycle to school every day and nobody says anything about it. Oh, my anger issues. And what makes me angry is that this is very normalized in our society. I've seen it the time I was in high school. They're trying to feed lies to these young girls, children. They're trying to feed them lies about how it's cool to date older guys when it's not cool. Okay, the guys are preying on children, and if a guy was wiser and matured, they will be dating people their own age. Yo, disgusting shit. Disgusting. Anyways, let's go to our last character. We have Atsushi, the depressed character that doesn't attend school for reasons that I'm going to talk about later on. Now that I've introduced you to our 6 main characters, let's get into the movie. Asuka comes across a cat sitting on top of a fence near the school. She continues walking. While walking, she hears a painful scream. When she turns around, she sees that the cat she saw a moment ago has been hit by their school bus. And it feels so eerie. The day feels so ominous already, just started, but it already feels off. Something is off. And you can tell that by how the movie is structured very beautifully. I love the fact that there's no music in the beginning. It gives you those chills as to there's something that's going to happen, and you are sitting there nail biting, anticipating for something to happen, maybe a jump scare or something. So like there's that. A building on the other side of their school that's currently being renovated. Suka often frequents that building to eat lunch there. While she's eating lunch, she sees bloody hands trying to crawl their way out of a wall nearby. Her hallucination, for a lack of a better word, is interrupted by the workers telling her that they're bringing in heavy machinery. So she leaves. On her way back to school, she comes across their school librarian, Mr. Hashiro, who is seemingly bearing something. Okay. They exchange a long, unsettling stare. After that staring competition, Mr. Hashiro leaves. Asuka follows Mr. Hashiro. She hears a voice coming from a little girl asking her to find the rest of her body parts. Let me say, I won't miss this opportunity. I have to do it. The little girl was like, "Can you please help me find the rest of my body parts?" I'm sorry, I just had to take this opportunity to do it, and I've been waiting for it. I did the first time. Mark this as one of my finest moments. When she turns around, the little girl has disappeared. So it's weird. Everything is weird. When she gets home, she receives weird, cryptic, Riddler-like messages, and they read as follows. Why is the red person red? It's because she's covered in blood. Do you want to be covered in blood? Answer me. Answer me. And the messages kept going on and on and on, flooding her phone. I mean, she's scared, rightfully so. She throws her her phone over the desk, and she goes to sleep. How do you go to sleep when your phone is busy making sounds? Ting, ting, ting. At least put it on silent mode, right, for messages. And also, it's not like you have to use the excuse of like, oh, the alarm, she has to think about the alarm when she has to go to school in the morning. Yeah, there's something called notifications. You turn off the notifications on your messaging app and go to sleep, because how that doesn't matter. Everyone finds themselves at school, the 6 students. Everyone is shocked, rightfully so. Imagine waking up at school and you see your classmates and you're like, oh, I am not having a dream. You're like, this is not a dream. This is weird. While everyone is confused and disoriented, we have Shota mumbling something about body search. No one is listening to him because, as I said, they're disoriented. Atsushi does the most logical thing to do in a horror movie, of course. He leaves. That is the best decision you can do in a horror movie. It's the most logical one. You know what, Atsushi, you might as well tap dance. Take out cards and play poker. I don't know, start some gambling business while you are at it. In fact, start preaching, because for some reason their school has a chapel and a coffin, and it literally looks like a church. Maybe there was a church there and now they are renovating it into the school. They're turning that church into a school. It doesn't matter. The group runs after Atsushi. I mean, he's stupid. No, I mean, he's smart. Okay. Atsushi is smart. What he's doing is smart. They hear a scream coming from the field. They rush to the field, and that's when they are met with a horrific sight. I call it artistic, baby. The deaths that are in the show, they're pretty artistic, they're good, they're pleasant to look at. And if you don't like gore, I guess you have to watch this video. And if you are pretty much in the same level as I, you love gore, go watch it, because the deaths don't disappoint you. The torso is separated from the lower body. Okay, we have the head tilted to the side with one arm resting on it and the other one sprawled across the field. We have the lower body, one leg upwards and the other one in an upright kneeling position. It's beautiful. It's art. Okay, I don't care what you say, it's art. While they're shocked looking at this, they hear a window breaking and something comes out of the window. They freak out and start running back to school. Instead of going to the part that has a door that you can open and get into it, they go to the part that is fenced up and you can't open the fence because it needs a key. They finally get inside the school and they're killed one by whatever made at Atsushi. Since Asuka was the last one to die, we finally get to see what killed Atsushi and the rest of the group. It's a little girl drenched in blood with empty eye sockets. It seems like the eyeballs were bent while they were still in the sockets, and now the sockets are left with some blackness there. It's pretty much unsettling to see. She carries around a human-sized teddy bear. It's also soaked in blood. I guess this is the red person. The day resets. Why is the day repeating itself? So they pull Shota around. They want answers. What is going on? Shota tells him that there's a game that is called the Booty Search. It traps high schoolers in a time loop. In order to escape the time loop, they have to collect dismembered body parts that are scattered throughout their school. Assemble all of the body parts in their rightful places in the coffin. That's how they'll be able to break the loop. So if they can't do that, they'll forever be in a time loop. They are going to be stuck in a time loop, living the same day, getting killed over and over again. Everyone is in panic, and when they turn around, they see the librarian, Mr. Hashiro, and he's freaked out, and he quickly goes up the stairs, and the rest of the group are like, who is he? He's so creepy. And we have Asuka was standing a little bit far from the group because she has been isolated from society for quite some time, so she's afraid to be near people. So everyone didn't know that she was there while they were asking questions, and she was like, "Oh, that is the school librarian, Mr. Hashiro." Everyone turned out and looked at her with a puzzle look. Isn't like, and who are you? It was such a funny scene. I just had to tell you about how Asuka is so forgettable. I wouldn't miss this chance. I wouldn't. Yeah, in groups, played in groups, except Shota is on his own because Atsushi is somewhere playing with his Pokemon cards while everyone is trying to find the dismembered body parts. Maybe he has a whole dark romance books. I'm sure in this game he made sure to come with some dark romance daddy with me books. He's out here reading about monster romance. And she choked me. He held me. I said, please let me go. And he said, no, please let me. No. And he holds me by my hand. And he says, you're mine. You belong to me. And he growls, oh, I said the romance is trash. No offense. Asuka is with Takahiro. There's a bit of something there. There's something. But you never know because it's a horror movie and Asuka. I want to compare her to Sydney Sweeney, but I can't compare her to Sydney Sweeney because in a way she is good, but her facial expressions, it's always like, why do you look weird all the time? She just looks weird. It's like she's lost. It's like the director has to remind her every time that, hey, you're the main character, you're supposed to act. And she's like, oh, I forgot. What do I do? What do I do? It's like they didn't give a script. They're like, do whatever you have to do. Cook. And she's out there like, plus she has big eyes like me and she was they managed to find a hand. A red person appears out of nowhere. Takahiro gives the hand to Asuka and tells her to go put the hand in the coffin. He will fight off the red person. Girl, get up, don't piss me off. As the words of what's his name? What is my advice to Asuka?
Run, bitch! Run!
When she finally gets up, she ends up hitting one of her paralyzed legs on a desk, and now the red person has lost interest in Takahiro. Finally, she picks up momentum and she runs out of the classroom. The red person quickly kills off Takahiro. I mean, she has business meetings to attend. She has no time to be entertaining a human being that is not of interest. She also kills Shota along the way. Shota's death was so funny. Takahiro and Shota are dead. I'm going to assume that Atsushi was killed off screen. Asuka joins the girl. They cross off the hallway by pressing one of those metal button operated garage style doors that are used to secure shopping malls from thieves getting in. Well, to be particular, they are used to secure stores. So I don't understand why those things are doing in high school, and I've seen it in so many K-dramas, and this is my first time seeing it in a J-drama. I am curious to know what they are used for. Am I going to go to Google and search it, or maybe TikTok and search it? Hell no. Hell, like, no. You guys tell me what they are used for, because I don't think I want to do that. I am so lazy. While they're having their celebration moment, Rumi gets pulled out of the barricade door by the red person. Asuka tries to save her, but they are both killed. Rhea was the one who managed to put the hand in the coffin. The girls are now friends. And what I found interesting about this day is that things changed. So in day one, the beginning, before they were trapped in this time loop, Rhea was spending time with her friends during lunch break. They ordered like a whole table of food. They were taking Instagram pictures, liking the pictures. And this time around, her friends were replaced by Asuka and Rumi. And they did the same thing, eat the same kind of food, and also took selfies for Instagram, and also liked it the same way that Ria did with her friend. And hey, I guess you can change major events in a time loop. They're playing by the pool as if then there's no demonic entity trying to kill them, as if they don't have to search for dismembered body parts. You know what? You guys are as lazy as Atsushi. You know, now that I don't have any Sydney here, I'm just going to make fun of Ahsoka, and I'm going to be a little bit more lenient on Atsushi. Sorry, I'm now starting to lose my voice because I've been talking for about an hour now, 30 minutes. 1 hour 30 minutes, and now it's almost 2 hours and I'm still talking, so bear with me. While they're playing in the pool, the most predictable thing happens. Rumi and Ria are killed by the right person. Asuka is drowned to death by something. They all meet at the library to come up with a strategy. Well, for Shota to tell them about the strategy that he came up with. But before that, we have to talk about a case that happened 30 years ago that Shota thinks that it's a case that might have created the game The Body Search. It's a case about a young girl, well, a child called Miko Onayama, who was killed 30 years ago in her own home. The body was dismembered. They only found the rest of the body, but they didn't find her head. Maybe the red person is Miko Onayama, maybe. And now we get into why Atsushi and Takahiro know each other, and also they're on a first name basis, so it seems that they might be knowing each other on a personal level. The first name basis thing is very important in Japan, okay? It shows closeness. So Atsushi and Takahiro used to attend the same middle school. Atsushi used to be a good basketball player, but unfortunately he got a serious injury. The doctor told him that he's going to recover as long as he attends rehabilitation sessions. By then he's going to make a full recovery and go back to playing basketball. But for some reason he quit basketball, and he has been locked up in his room ever since then and hasn't been attending school. Honestly, I want to know more about his story from his perspective. But I want to know why he quit basketball. He could have made a full recovery. A part of me feels like, I told you that Takahiro is also good at basketball, so I feel like for the time he missed out, he felt like Takahiro was the star, the one who was getting praise. Like there was a little bit of jealousy there. That is what I think. We also get into why Asuka and Takahiro are on a first name basis. So, I, listen, every time I talk about Asuka, I just have to breathe. Asuka and Takahiro went to the same elementary school. Their parents used to be friends. They were pretty close as children. So Takahiro is about to tell the group about what happened to Asuka at an amusement park. Asuka cuts him off, so we never get to know what happened at that amusement park. What did she do? What's embarrassing? We want to know. Like, I am nosy. I want to know. You can't start something and then not finish it. That is not fair for me. We get to the plan now. Shota lays out their school plan. Let me walk you through the plan. They're going to turn on all the school lights. Apparently the right person is sensitive to light. she is also sensitive to sound because they're going to blast loud music. So I guess even ghosts, demons, they all suffer from migraines, just like the rest of us peasants. I mean, humans. The next one, they'll be carrying walkie-talkies. Yes, Atsushi included. They're going to use it to communicate. Takahiro is going to be the fighter, as I said in his character, that he's a fighter. He's going to be fighting off the red person. Shota is the one who's going to be at the lookout, telling them the location of the red person. The girls are going to search for the body parts, but they are going to separate. Okay, they're not going to go in a group. That is going to waste time. It's a solid plan, right? And while they are going through the plan, the movie shows us them implementing that plan while Shota is explaining it. And for every body part that you have found, you need to mark off the area that you have searched for the body part. Let's say you have searched for that body part in a bathroom. When you get out of the loop the next day, you have to tick off the bathroom. They get tackled by the school librarian, Mr. Hashiro, because how long, my guy, how long have you been standing there? He came there to tell them that they should keep quiet in the library, and he sneaks a peek at their school plan, Shota quickly closes it. He asks them if this is a school project. Rhea tells him that no, it's a friendship thing. He walks away, and everyone is looking at him weird because this is the second time he accidentally overheard them talking about the body search game, and they're like, huh, he's so weird. What a weird person. Now we are in day 5 to 8. It's a montage of them implementing the strategy that Shota came up with. It is working pretty well. Some progress is made. I mean, a lot of body parts are being collected and put into the coffin. They're even having fun dying. It's pretty interesting seeing people being happy to die. I mean, Atsushi could. Things are going way too well. If you have watched horror movies, you catch my drift, right? They're going way too smooth. It's way too good to be true. They managed to get a lot of body parts, but they are left with 2 body parts, a head and a hand. They're pretty sure that they might finish the game tonight. And they're checking out the places that they haven't searched to see if they can go there and see if they're going to be able to get the rest of the missing body parts. But while they're at it, Mr. Hashiro approaches them with the same script. Keep quiet in the library, and before you can go, he asks them, is this a school project? But this time Rumi is the one who answers, no, it's the body search game. Everyone starts to freak out, and they start screaming, yelling at Rumi that she shouldn't have said that. But Rumi is just like, the loop is going to reset. He won't remember anything that I've said, so you guys need to chill out. But what the others don't know is that the librarian, Mr. Hashiro, flinched at the mention of the word the body search. The only person who noticed that is Asuka. Takahiro is badly injured, holding the hand. He's asking for the others to help him, but no one is answering because they're already dead. But the only person who's still alive is Atsushi, and I guess this is where we get his redemption arc, because for the first time in so many years, he finally starts using his legs for some physical activity. He starts running across the field to go to the school. He feels that is the happiest I've seen, honestly, so far in the movie. He looks so excited, so happy, so free. It was a beautiful thing to see in a horror movie. I was so excited for him, honestly. I was like, hell yeah, kick depression in the butt. Fuck depression. He got there. He's, oh my god, when he took the hand from Takahiro, he started screaming so loud. He was so excited. He was like, fuck the universe, fuck depression, hell yeah. He managed to put the hand in a coffin. Nigga, you only put one thing in the coffin. I won't let that slide. I won't let that slide. They go to the beach. They want to celebrate their achievements. So, the progress that they have made so far. Everyone is having fun, and this is where we get a conversation as to why Asuka is socially isolated. So what happened in the middle school is that there was supposed to be a swim class fair, but Asuka couldn't attend it because later that night before the game, so before the swimming thingy, she caught a cold and she couldn't go to school the next day. So when she got back to school, finally when she has recovered, someone suspected her of lying. They said she lied about being sick, and quickly after that, rumors spread of her lying, and everyone distanced themselves from her. The Japanese culture, even though I don't know much about it, but I just went to Google and searched because to me it sounded like a non-problem, but apparently it's a big deal. So lying is considered as disrespect, which is the same thing for other cultures, but we don't really question someone for being sick. But yeah, being caught in a lie saying that you are sick while you could have been at school doing the same school activities as the rest of your classmates means that you have some sort of dishonesty and you are not a team player. It means that you are selfish in a way, and that is not socially acceptable. So I can't even explain it because I don't even explain I don't even understand it, but I hope you catch the drift. I assume that you're smart. I know you're smart, so you understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, I believe in you, Susuna. End of day 10, Asuka asks the question we have been waiting for. Why did they cast her for the movie? She thought she was there to act as an extra, but now she's a main character. I'm just kidding. I think it's Takahiro. One of them asked that why are they chosen for the game? There are so many high schoolers in their school, but why did the game choose them? I'm interested into knowing that. Are there certain criterias that are needed to choose the people to play the game, or maybe they're chosen at random? I don't know. Maybe you're going to get the explanation at the end. I hope so. Fingers crossed. The group goes to Miyako's house in hopes that they'll find some kind of clue as to where they can find the head. While they're looking around, they see Miyako's picture with her parents and also a teddy bear. We learn more about Miyako's childhood. She was a sick child. She was homeschooled. She was socially isolated. She didn't have friends. She was always alone. Her parents often went on business trips, leaving her alone with her only companion, her doll, Emily. Takahiro notices that there's something wrong with the wall. It's not a wooden wall. The house is not wooden, but for some reason, there are wooden planks nailed on the wall. He tries to take it off, but Shota suggests what we are all thinking. Do not do not move that. But no. He hasn't watched many horror movies. He removes those wooden planks, and inside there's the doll Emily covered in Miyuko's blood. The door suddenly shuts. While they're all distracted by the door, Shota screams. They all turn around and they see that the doll has disappeared. They all rush out of the house, feeling creeped out. You should not mess with this. Like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? They are searching for the head, but their search is futile. There's nothing. They all meet up at the chapel, but something is wrong. Something is weird. The red person is not here because by now they would have been dead if the red person was in the vicinity or something like that. But they see something emerging in the shadows. The red person was merging with the doll Emily into one thing, a hybrid. So I'm not going to call it a hybrid red person and Emily. That is way too long. I'm just going to call the thing Emily. Yeah, while they are trying to run out of that room, construction equipment fall, crushing Rumi to death. Glass panels fall, slicing Atsushi. I am laughing because every time Atsushi has an on-screen death, they are always cutting him in half. He's always being sliced in half. This time it was funny because we saw his upper body flying across the room. Sorry. Shota is crushed to death by shoe cupboards that are hit by Emily while she's trying to chase the others. So now we are left with Asuka, Ria, and Takahiro. Unfortunately for us, they create fire. We are left with the horror of seeing what the hell was chasing them, or whatever the entity was imaging in the shadows. I'm just going to put it here so you can see it yourself. I'm not going to describe that shit. It's scary. It's more terrifying than the red person. Takahiro tries to fight it, but he is thrown across the room and impaled by wooden boards. Ria is eaten by the hybrid Emily. Asuka dies by falling off their school building. Takahiro and Asuka had built a routine where they save the cat in every loop. Ooh, that was alien. Something falls off today. It feels the same way. It gives off the same eerie feeling as day one when they first got trapped in a time loop. Like clockwork, they have to meet at the library, except this time they have to talk about what that was. But Rumi comes to them and tells them that she can't find Ria. They start asking their classmates if they've seen Ria, but the answers they could get from their classmates are, who is Ria? We don't have anyone called Ria in this class. They go to the class register to search for Ria's name, but sure enough, there is no Ria in the classroom. She has been completely erased. Asuka admits, well, confess, I don't know, tells them that she saw Ria getting eaten by Emily. Asuka meets up with the librarian. It turns out that in day one, he was burying the cat that got hit by the school bus, and also in this loop, he was doing the same thing. So, sorry, Mr. Hashiro, I thought you were sus. Sorry. Mr. Hashiro tells her he is one of the many people who played the body search game. The only reason he remembers playing this game is because he found a book in the library that they used to read more about the body search game. He vividly remembers having friends, connections, just like Asuka. He also feels like he had a love interest, but the game is cruel. He cannot remember everything. He cannot remember the people. He can only feel loss, grief. But the game, once the time loop is broken and you have won the game, everything is going to go back to the way it was before. You guys are going back to being strangers. You are going to forget that you even played the game, and that love interest you had in the game, it's going to be completely erased. There's no, there won't be any romance. Troubled by this revelation, Asuka goes. Her thoughts are interrupted by Takahiro. They start talking about what they could possibly do. Takahiro promises Asuka that he will always protect her. Asuka starts talking in cryptic kind of language without saying it straight that, oh, we are going to forget each other after the game is done. So she starts talking about how she's going back to being alone. She's going to have no friends anymore. She's going to be isolated again. Takahiro asks her, what are you talking about? She says that you, everyone is going to forget me. They are going to forget my existence. Takahiro hugs her the back and says that if that is true and if that's going to happen, I promise I'm going to find a way to remember you. He hands her his pin and says, I promise on my pin that I will always find a way to remember you. This romance came out of nowhere. No, for real. It came out of nowhere. There was no build up. Like, I really tried in the beginning to try to throw something there, like, oh my god, they're on your first name basis. There seems to be something there. But you know, I was trying. Okay, I was trying. There was no build up for the romance. There was nothing. Just the first name basis thing. And all of a sudden there's romance. I am pissed. Asuka tells them that she has a theory. The theory is that the head is inside the doll. They ask her why does she think that? She says that in day 3, when they were in the pool, the doll dived in head first. She was basically killed by the doll instead of the real person. They're already preparing any equipment they can find to trap Emily. The plan is to trap Emily, but before they can do that, we have to have a moment. Takahiro tells them that he knows why they have been chosen, because the monster can see the cracks in their hearts. You can see how lonely they are, and it tries to feed on their loneliness. But they're no longer lonely now. They have each other, and they'll continue having each other after the game. I don't know about that, sir. Now everything is ready. We are getting to the fighting sequence. They corner Emily into a wall by pouring what I will assume to be super glue. They push a metal table so that she won't break free from the wall. They take turns chaining up Emily to the wall to tighten the grip. Atsushi is having trouble connecting the two ends of the chain. Now Takahiro has to go there and help him. The girls are forced to push the metal table so Emily won't break free. The red person sends Rumi and Asuka flying across the room. Unfortunately, my Rumi gets devoured while trying to save Asuka.
Primrose Everdeen. I volunteer! I volunteer as tribute!
They manage to connect the ends of the chain. Atsushi gets devoured. Now we are only left with the couple. Takahiro does the final blow by slicing Emily into half by using a chainsaw. A small head falls to the ground. The couple head to the chapel to put the head in the coffin. Boom! Here comes boom! Here comes Santa Claus. Ooh, he's 8 months earlier. I'm just kidding. It's she's not dead. You would think that she needs the head to operate the rest of her body or to stay alive, but no, she doesn't need the head because she's Emily. Takahiro is devoured by the red person. They have a moment. I'm just going to put pictures here on the screen so you can see the moment. Maybe I should keep. Asuka has her final girl moment. They have killed all of her friends. Not only killed, but her friends were all eaten. So now she's angry. She's telling the monster that she won't be alone. She starts beating the crap out of Emily. She's finally acting. They told her that, hey, you are acting. You won't be getting paid if you keep looking confused on camera. In a struggle to fight Asuka, Emily is impaled by a wooden cross. Such a biblical death. Asuka puts the head in the coffin and, you know, they did in our final day. They're all back to being strangers. Miyoko's head was found by the police, so now she's going to get a proper burial. They don't even remember playing the game, right? Right? Wrong. Asuka is looking at Takahiro's pin, looking it sorrowfully, like, oh my god, she's grieving something. She just lost something greatly. Their names are called out one by one. Asuka, Takahiro, Shota, Ria, and Rumi. Remember, I said everything went back to normal, which means that Atsushi is still in his room, depressed. Oh my god, this breaks my heart. He finally had friends. Oh my god, this is the saddest part, honestly. I mean, Asuka could just approach them and ask to be friends. But Atsushi, oh my god, is cramped up in that room. They asked them to head to the other side of the building. They're being chosen as class representatives. I didn't say it right, I don't care. While they're heading to the other building, Asuka accidentally drops Takahiro's pin. He takes the pin, he inspects it, he runs after Asuka, he hugs her and tells her that I said I would always find a way to remember you. I don't care. I don't care for this romance. No matter how they try to shove it on my face, I don't care for it. I literally do not care. The end. We see a newspaper that was thrown through maybe 3 decades ago into the same world that Asuka saw bloody hands trying to crawl their way out. The newspaper has Miyoko's face and also details about her death. Her face slowly bends away and it is replaced with the face of 8-year-old Asuka, with news that she disappeared at an amusement park. Now that is the real end. What do you guys think about this? I enjoyed watching it. It was so good, and I was surprised as to why people rated it low. I think on IMDb it got a 4 point something out of 10. On Rotten Tomato it was also low, so I didn't get it. Maybe it's because of people who have read the manga. Didn't read the manga, so yeah, I'm not disappointed because I didn't read the manga. It was pretty good to me. I enjoyed watching it. The mystery of it all. Now we're asking ourselves questions, right? Takahiro was about to tell us what happened at the amusement park, and now all of a sudden the newspaper from decades ago is saying that Asuka disappeared at an amusement park. And the most damning thing is that, does it mean that Asuka disappeared 3 decades ago? Huh? Like, I'm trying to solve this mystery. And also, it was interesting that at the end, all of their names got called out to go to the other building. And that building is the same building that they were playing the research game. I wonder if they're going to come back in the second movie. Yes, this second movie is going to come out on the 3rd of April internationally. Another one I'm asking myself is that it seems like this time loop thing, the body search thing, it's not as perfect as it should be, because for some reason the librarian remembers the game, and also Asuka remembers the game, and also Takahiro now remembers the game. So I am starting to think that Asuka might be the glitch in the game. Like, that's what I think. I think she's the glitch. I wonder what the second movie is going to be about. Like, I have so many questions. But I can't even. What is another question? Oh, yeah, when Ria got eaten by Emily, I'm going to assume that it triggered another loop, because things were so different when the next day after she was eaten. So that is interesting. And also the butterfly effect. As I said, in day 3, they made major changes, like with the friendship thing. So I wonder if that contributed to the butterfly thing, the butterfly effect. Another, I'm trying to think about parts I found interesting. Ooh, who put the curse? Who put the curse on Emily the doll? Who put the curse? Why wasn't Miyako's spirit resting? Maybe you could argue that, oh yeah, her head was not found. But why? Who put the curse? I don't think the parent who put the curse. And also, where were the parents when Miyoko got killed? And also, Miyoko was outside. I said that she was an isolated child. She was always indoors. So where was she, and how? Like, who killed her? Who killed her? Where the hell were the parents? Another one is that, so Atsushi is going to be forever in his room. That is so sad. Why would they do that? At least make an exception for him to go to school. I feel so sorry for him, honestly. I mean, I made fun of him, but I feel sorry for him. Okay, we have a love-hate relationship. Tell me what you guys think about this video and what you think about the movie. If you have seen it, if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend that you see it. I would give this one a 10 out of 10. I didn't find any fault in the movie. I watched it 3 times and I enjoyed it 3 times. So I want you guys to get the same experience that I got. Go watch the movie. And love. Bye. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and I will see you in the next one.
Whatever you do.